Hi, Jason Watson here, Watson CPA Group, and we're talking today about the cost of having a salary that is too high. We see so many people coming in, we see their last year's tax returns, and on line 7, officer comp is just huge compared to line 21, which is their net ordinary income on their S-Corp tax return. And we want to just kind of highlight what happens when your salary is too high and how we can avoid that and why you should avoid that, okay? Let's talk about why business owners take a big salary. They pick a number out of the air and they do that. Why? Sometimes they think they need the cash. So they're having a high salary, they're taking out all their income taxes and all their payroll taxes, doing all that stuff, and they want this big fat net check so they can pay bills, right? They gotta eat, pay mortgage, buy a car, whatever the case might be. That's fine, but what we'd rather have you do is find a reasonable salary and take distributions out of your business to help augment food and rent and mortgage and all those items, okay? Maybe you need to max out your 401k. Today, 2019, the max 401k is $56,000. You need to draw a salary of $148,000 to max out your 401k. That might be a reason why you have a big salary as well. And sometimes it's accidental, and that's the common reason. We just see people going, well, I just figured I should pay myself X. And we're like, well, did you do any research? You go to BLS.gov, salary.com. Did you do any kind of analysis on this? Well, not really. Okay, well, that's could be a problem. I shouldn't say it automatically is, but it could be. Keep in mind, each $10,000 is an additional $1,530 in payroll taxes that maybe are unnecessary. That's a lot of money, okay? And when we say payroll taxes, we're talking about Social Security and Medicare typically. So $10,000 is $1,530, $20,000 is $3,000, so on and so forth. So $10,000 is not a lot. You know, if you're paying yourself 90 grand versus 80 grand, is somebody really going to say that's completely unreasonable to go from 90 down to 80? Maybe, I don't know, but probably not. Going from 90 down to 80 or even 80 down to 70 is going to save you $1,530 in payroll taxes. So it's a big deal to dial in that salary exactly where it needs to be and not a dollar more. So that's really the moral of all this story is get it right, get it low. Get it right, get it low. How do we do that? Typically we're looking at BLS.gov. I don't have that written up here. We can look at salary.com. BLS.gov is way more authoritative than salary.com. Salary.com is just a good additional resource. However, we do have a service that we offer through RC Reports. We have a whole nother video that explains their methodologies. It's called S-Corp Reasonable S-Corp Salary. Check out that video. We'll have a link for you as well to click on that to go view it. But RC Reports is a great way of saying, what should your salary be? And maybe that $80,000 salary that you've always been taking is correct. Maybe it should be $83,000, who knows, right? But we wanna make sure we have the data. We're just not picking it out of the air. We wanna have good data to minimize unnecessary payroll taxes. Remember that the primary benefit, if not the only benefit, to an S corporation is the reduction of Social Security and Medicare taxes. And that's this right here. That's this whole line right there. Okay? So, and maybe you still want to max out the 401k. Fine. Then, you know, you're going to have to have a high salary to do that. Needing the cash, that's a silly reason. We want to take distributions instead if we need the excess cash beyond what our reasonable salary can provide us. So let's talk about that for a moment, okay? Distributions. Excess cash in the business. You've already paid your salary. You still want to take some additional money out. Remember, you wear two hats in S-Corp land, right? You're an employee, that's the whole salary thing, and you're also an investor, and that's the distribution thing. So we want to take, first of all, let me back up. Don't use your business checking account as a savings account. Most businesses keep as much cash as they need to run their business in their business, and then they flush out the rest in dividends. Look at all the Fortune 500 businesses. They're always taking cash and saying, oh, that's for our expansion. Oh, we got some litigation coming up. We need some buffer in our retained earnings. We're going to go ahead and allocate certain retained earnings for certain future events. But the rest, shareholders are going to demand are given to them in the form of a dividend. Okay? So same thing, when you have a bunch of cash in your business checking account, the bank instantly is going to think, oh, the business must need that. Well, if it doesn't, then you should distribute it out to yourself. So we suggest systematic distributions like once a month. Okay? Make it the same amount. We don't want to see the boat payment come due and all of a sudden you're taking a distribution. That looks bad. Just take a lump. Try to calculate what that's going to look like. And then after every quarter, or maybe end of the year, whatever, say, you know what, there's excess cash. We had a good year. I didn't take that much out in salary. I took my systematic distributions. There's excess cash. Maybe I need to take an unscheduled distribution as a true up or a flush out of the cash from the business checking account to the personal checking account. Anyway, this is the cost of having your salary too high. Again, $10,000 is not a lot. If you're going from $100,000 down to $90,000, you'll save $1,530 in payroll taxes. So let's dial this in. Let's get it right. Let's get it low. Let's use some resources out there. Give us a call. We can help you out. We can do this for you. Look at our website. My name again is Jason Watson with the Watson CPA Group, and we're glad to help.